Exactly at 2 a.m., Sarah woke up. She could hear footsteps echoing through her empty house. She lived alone. The doors were locked, yet the sound grew louder as if someone or something was moving closer to her bedroom. She listened intently. What she discovered that night would change her life forever. Sarah had always considered herself rational. She was the kind of person who laughed at ghost stories. Her little house on the edge of town was quiet, ordinary, safe, or so she thought. But lately, strange things had been happening. Her phone ringing with no caller ID, doors slightly open when she was certain she had closed them, and a cold draft that seemed to follow her wherever she went. On this particular night, the air felt heavier. The footsteps weren't just in her imagination. She could hear the faint creak of the old wooden floor. Heart pounding, she whispered, "Hello, who's there?" Silence. Then another sound, this time a soft thud right outside her door. This was only the beginning of something far stranger. Gathering her courage, Sarah stepped out of bed and grabbed the nearest thing she could use as a weapon, a heavy flashlight. She inched toward the door, her breath shallow. With trembling hands, she turned the knob. The hallway was empty, but on the floor lay a folded piece of paper. Her name was written on it in handwriting that looked eerily familiar. She opened it slowly. The note read, "Do not go to the basement." 2:30 a.m., her heart raced. Who left this? How did they get inside? She ran to check every window and door, but they were all locked. Nothing was broken. Then the clock on the wall ticked louder than usual, the second hand almost taunting her. It was already to 15. Should she listen to the warning or ignore it? Sarah's curiosity won. She knew she shouldn't, but something pulled her toward the basement door. She had lived in that house for 2 years and rarely went down there. It was dark, damp, and full of old boxers left by the previous owner. At 2:25, she stood in front of the basement door, gripping her flashlight so tightly her knuckles turned white. She pushed it open, and the door creaked like it hadn't been touched in years. She descended the stairs slowly, each step groaning beneath her weight. The air was colder here. As her flashlight cut through the darkness, she spotted another note pinned to one of the wooden beams. This one, "Read, you are not alone." Suddenly, she heard breathing, slow, heavy breathing from the far corner of the basement. Her light flickered, and for a brief second, she saw a figure, a tall shadow, unmoving, watching her. When the light steadied, the figure was gone. Her instinct screamed at her to run, but before she could turn, something shifted behind her. The basement door slammed shut with a deafening bang. She dropped the flashlight, plunging the room into darkness. Hands trembling, she scrambled to find it, her fingers brushing cold concrete. When she finally grabbed the flashlight and switched it back on, the shadow was inches from her face. She gasped, stumbling backward. The figure whispered in a voice that sounded just like hers, "I warned you not to come." Sarah's legs gave out and she fell to the ground. The figure dissolved into smoke, vanishing as quickly as it appeared, leaving behind only the note. Her pulse thundered in her ears as she clutched it. This one said, "Tomorrow it begins." When Sarah opened her eyes again, she was back in her bed. Morning sunlight poured through the curtains as if nothing had happened. Was it just a dream? She sat up only to find the 3 notes lying neatly on her nightstand. The warnings were real. From that day on, every night at 2 a.m., Sarah would wake to find a new note waiting for her, each one more chilling than the last. She had no idea who was sending them or why, but she knew one thing. Whatever was coming at 2:30 a.m. tomorrow night would make everything she had seen so far look like child's play. And what happened the following night was far more terrifying. Click here to watch the next story.